What's up, guys? Welcome to the In the Blind podcast. Today we have singer-songwriter Timmy McKeever.
How y'all doing?
Doing well, brother. How about you?
Doing well. Can't complain.
We appreciate you coming on with us today and
man. Thanks for
sharing a
having me.
little insight on your journey and how you ended up in Nashville. I think we could start there. Tell us where you're from and how you got here.
Yeah, so I'm from California, Orange County. I started playing music when I was, I think, like 9 years old. It was actually from my third grade teacher. She used to always like play guitar and sing for us after class, just like worship music and stuff like that. And one day I was interested, so I went home. We had like a $90 Costco guitar laying around, so I just like picked it up and started watching YouTube videos and kind of teaching myself.
Yeah.
And then I kind of just fell in love with it. I started writing songs like pretty much immediately. I was playing shows, like I was playing dive bars and festivals and stuff by like age 10 or 11.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was.
So you're pretty seasoned for a 19-year-old?
Yeah, I would say so. And so I mean, pretty much my entire childhood was just like up on stage. Like I was in sports and stuff in school, and but like on the weekends I would just go out and play shows. And it was funny, like especially when I was coming up and I'd be like 12 years old and playing like these bars. So they would hide me in the kitchen and then just like throw me out on stage, and I'd play my songs and then just hop off and get out of there. But yeah, it was funny. So yeah, I've been, even though I'm only 18, I've been doing it for a while. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. I moved out to town finally last June during CMA Fest week. So yeah, but I've been coming out here for probably like 6 years now.
You got your family and everyone here now?
Yeah, my parents followed me out here. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's good to have them out here. My dad's like basically my best friend, so it's fun. Awesome. He's actually gotten involved in the music industry as well. So he's been kind of managing me and help me out with some stuff. And actually my sister's now on the team, so she's interning for my publicist. So
very cool.
It's
man,
great.
That's huge, having a good solid core in this town, man, and having you people you can trust and have your best interests at heart, because a lot of people don't land with people that do though have their best interests at heart and stuff. They're just trying to look for the next flash in the pan and make some money, so very lucky to have a tight circle like that and have them come out here with you, and it's a really cool thing, man. You should be proud of them, proud of yourself, that's for sure.
Yeah, when I first got started in music, a couple of the guys that were in our band had their parents kind of involved, and a lot of the labels we would go to would be like, or management companies like, oh, we need to get the parents out of there. Yeah. And then after a couple of years, we were on the road with Taylor Swift, and you stopped hearing that because it was mom that was in there kind of making all those decisions and was proving all those people wrong. That it is important, I think, to have somebody that has your best interest in mind in your corner, and who better than your father to be filling that role. So that's very cool.
Yeah, especially like, it's better in Nashville, but like the music industry in general, it's like you want to surround yourself with people you can trust, because there are a lot of people out there who like don't have your best interest in mind, and they wouldn't mind seeing you fail, So it's like, it's nice to know I have them in my corner.
Yeah, because everybody's looking out for themselves.
Yeah, dude.
Except, I have 2 sons.
Yeah.
And I know the only 2 people I'm looking out for more than myself are those 2 boys.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a good saying, man, that the only man in life that'll ever want you to do better than him is your father.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of believed that, because I think as men we have a little bit of an ego, so like you root for your boys, but like, man, like kind of when one's doing way better than you, it still kind of stings a little bit, but like with your dad and in your, in your son relationship, like he's always going to want you to do better than him. And that's pretty special. You don't get that from any other relationship. So you're definitely lucky to have that, especially in this town.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So coming from California to Nashville, obviously, I think I moved here when I was 18 or 19. I was 19, yeah. And for me, coming from Charlotte, North Carolina, it felt there was some culture shock. Like I had the opportunity to spend a lot of time in Europe as a kid, and so I had experience traveling the world. But then getting here, felt like at 19, I was thrown into the bar scene immediately, and like my dad was a music, worship leader at our church, like 5,000 people. So like I'd always seen that, but I was also very sheltered. So how was that for you coming here, which, everything's all about alcohol and the party? Being 19, like, or 18, how does that translate for you?
Yeah, it's funny. Like people ask me, like, all my buddies from back home and stuff. They're like, so do you just like go out and play the bars on Broadway and stuff? But I actually haven't. Like when I moved here, I wanted to kind of distance myself as much from that whole scene as possible.
Smart.
You know? Just because, like, I don't know, like I've seen it happen to so many people where they get like too roped into that.
Yeah,
And,
you can't get out.
Yeah, you can't get out. So I've tried to distance myself from that, and it helps that I can't get into any of the bars down here.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, it helped for me too, because my roommate when I moved here, he was 22 and I was like 18, and his dad was the CEO of Krispy Kreme Donuts.
Yeah.
So he had bought him like a $2 million worth of studio equipment.
Yeah.
So he was going out partying every night, not coming home for a week on like a drug bender. So like literally I'm sitting here in front of this $1 million studio. I was like, well, shit, I'm going to figure out how to do this. So I taught myself how to use Pro Tools. So I spent 2 years before I could get into a bar, just working on my craft and songwriting by myself, and like tried to develop those skills. And then once I turned 21, I was like, oh, this is what I was missing. And needless to say, I'm 10 years sober now because of this town. But, but it was a cool place to be back then, because it's like I could kind of, sharpen my tools and hone my craft a little bit. Have you experienced any of that, like forcing yourself to do other stuff?
Yeah, I honestly, like, since I got here, I feel like I've been on the run so much, and like I've been out on the road playing shows, and then during the week I'm writing every day. So like honestly, I feel like nowadays I prefer just like chilling with a couple of the boys and just like sitting around the campfire. Like sometimes me and my boys will go over to Sony Firehouse at night and like shoot pool and like write a song and just kind of sing and stuff like that. So I think like since I got out here, the biggest culture shock in my opinion has just been like there's so many people you run into out here. Like majority of people are in music in some way, shape, or form, right? So like a lot of my friends are like involved in music, or they're like other artists or writers or just on the business side of things. So that's been probably my favorite part, is just being like having people to relate to, and it's like we get to come up together and and just like,
well, you build a network and a little team, and you come up with those people, and then it's a little sweeter when you blows up. When you got a lot of people that you around you that helped you get there. And
we were talking about our mutual friend or a guy that works at Big Loud, and like what's crazy is those two people I was talking about, it's like we all got to Nashville right around the same time, and like Adam was trying to be a professional golfer back then. His dad worked for Maui Gym, and like he was on one of those tours and like trying to figure out what he was going to do. Then he became a guitar tech for us, and then worked for FGL, and now he's working at Big Loud, and it's crazy. And I'm sure you'll see this too. It's like a lot of those people I moved to town with are now like executives at big record labels and publishing companies, and now they're running things, and they started in the mailroom when we were going in to play our first demos for Randy Goodman at Lyric Street. It's like those same people, if you surround yourself with the right people, it's shocking how 20 years later, somebody that used to go out to bars with, go on camping trips, on the weekend. And this guy was a complete degenerate that we thought would never be successful, and now he's running one of the biggest labels in town. It's wild how life happens, and
that's probably one of the coolest things about this town is it truly is an industry where you can start at the bottom and work your way up. Like if you just stay in it and grind it out, like you will eventually start to work your way up. And then they don't have a problem putting the guy who was in the mailroom 10 years ago in charge, like, which a lot of industries, you're in the mailroom, bro, you're in the mailroom, like, and you go to another job. You don't, you don't ever get out. It's really cool how you can just dig in and make something of yourself in this town. It's it is a town
and I think
dreams.
Talent-wise, on the artist side, it's like the cream always rises to the top. And as long as you keep your head down and you're consistent, like talent speaks for itself, in my opinion. And like we're living in a day and age where a lot of people can't just show up and sit down with an acoustic guitar. It's like they have to have their backing tracks. They don't. A lot of kids don't even know how to sing. And kudos to you. I mean, I've checked out a bunch of your stuff and been a fly on the wall in the background in a couple of your rounds. Like you sing your ass off, and you're incredibly talented. And I think there's so many people your age that are coming to town without a clue, and the fact that you've been already like you're 18 years old and already been on the road for close to 10 years. Like that's hard to find. And there's so many people that have moved here and never even played a show. It's wild. So
it's
I think you have a leg up on a lot of those people that are just flying by the seat of their pants. Like seems like you have a very clear cut vision for what you want and what you're looking for, and whether you do or you don't, that's what you're putting out there, projecting. So I think that's really says a lot about you and your drive and your work ethic, which is impressive. So.
Yeah, I'm honestly just like kind of grateful that I got into it as early as I did, because like it takes a while to kind of like get yourself comfortable like with the whole idea of like being an artist and stuff, and like there's a lot that goes into it that people don't really see. Like they're like, I feel like, I mean, when I first started, I was just like, like I'll just sing songs and like write music and play them for people, like play my songs for people, and that's it, you know?
Yeah.
And then like, but you don't realize to be an artist, and if you want to get to the big leagues and you want to be an A-list artist, like there's so much behind the scenes like movement that goes on, right? Like you gotta be a TikTok influencer, you gotta be like a business person, you gotta know how to handle your finances, like you gotta be a good songwriter and like keep your whole body healthy like while you're on the road and stuff. Like it's something that I'm kind of like I learn every day, like something that I'm doing wrong, and like it's crazy, and you're always learning new things, and but that's honestly what I love about it, because it keeps me on my toes, you know, and there's always some way you can get better, you know.
Yeah. And I think it's cool for me also to watch your career and what you're doing. It's like we've, to use Chase Rice for example, like he didn't even know he could sing or wanted to sing until he was 20.
Dude.
Or I guess maybe 18 when he was in college, because we were friends back then. But like for him to figure that out and discover that so much later in life, it's like you got to feel like you're playing catch up. Like at least in my situation, I grew up playing in front of thousands of people in church, Wednesday, Sunday, sometimes Saturday. It's like I felt comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
But I have so many friends that have gotten here that are athletes that just kind of fell into it and had no clue they wanted to do music. And it's like, oh, now I have to learn a whole new business, a whole new craft. A lot of them are just excited that people even want to listen to them. And I'm sure, and you got to feel that at 9, 10 years old, and then probably wrote some pretty crappy songs your first few, and then
they were horrible.
They were horrible. Evolved, and now I'm sure you're writing stuff that you're really proud of, and it's like you hear that old stuff and you kind of cringe.
Yeah, dude.
But artists at that level, it's like they're putting out that cringe-worthy stuff, expecting people to absolutely love it and gravitate to it. And I think you're, again, in a unique position that you've been doing it for as long as you have at such a young age, and seem like an old soul to me, which is not something you see every day. Most of the time it's kids that think they know everything and don't want to learn from anyone else. And for me personally, it's like the majority of the schooling and the lessons that I've gotten in this business are from other artists on the road, and just watching them. And random night after a show, you have Tim McGraw give you some advice, and like he was probably just walking through and had a random conversation that he doesn't even realize reshaped my entire career trajectory. So to be in those situations is really, it's invaluable. And it seems like you've gotten to do a lot of that already.
It's that's been another really cool thing, is like just meeting so many of like these artists that I love, and like some guys that have been like my idols for years, right? And it's like it was crazy. Like it's a Gavin Adcock. I met him for the first time at after the CMA Awards. I was at this after party and he was there, and I got to talking to him for a little bit, and it was right before I was about to drop my project in December called Devils and Angels, and I was like, I basically just like we were just making small talk. I was just like, hey man, like I love your stuff, and I was like, you got like any advice or anything like that? And we were just talking, and he was like, he gave me some really valuable advice. He was like, a lot of kids like come here and they'll like post once a week on social media or something like that, and like expect it to blow up and the algorithm to do it for them, right? And he was like, you got to bust your ass. You got to put as much music as you possibly can out, and you got to post as much as you can, like your life depends on it. And I was like, damn, all right. So I took his word for it, and I started posting like as much as I could. I mean, I was like, right before my project dropped, I was probably posting like 6 times a day, sometimes like on TikTok and stuff like that, and it worked. And
did you find once you were doing it and hitting it with that much volume that maybe not everything was going viral, but like you would just have more opportunity at that point for something to flash?
Like, because I mean, it makes sense. He told me, he used this analogy that it's like throwing darts at a dartboard. Like if you throw one at the dartboard, like it's gonna, if you have the skill and like the accuracy, like maybe it'll hit the bullseye, right? But if you take a handful of darts and you just keep chucking them at the board, eventually something's gonna hit, right? So he was like, if you just hit it with volume, and honestly, that's like my advice that I give nowadays is just like there's so many artists and so many creators online right now. So really the only way to break through all the noise is to hit it with volume, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And if you do that and you stay consistent and like you have the talent like and the music to back it up, like it's eventually gonna work. You know?
Yeah.
So
it's wild to me, like, because when I got into the business, all I had to do was sing, write, and play.
yeah.
And like we've had to like reinvent ourselves multiple times over the course of our career, because if you're not a content creator, curator, editor, if you're not a social media guru, if you're not all of the above, you're kind of shit out of luck. Like, I mean, because so many other artists, even if they're maybe not necessarily as talented, they're doing it, and they're doing it at the top level, and they're figuring it out. And if you're not, you're gonna get left behind. And it's been, you know, even just hearing you say that, it's a reminder to me, like, okay, shit, you gotta get on there and post and repost. And
it's like, it's something I gotta like continuously remind myself to do. And like, I'm happy with the team I have around me that like keeps me in check when I slack off. But it's just it's something you gotta do. I mean, like, personally, I hate technology. Like, I think it's awesome because it's given a lot of opportunities to a lot of people. Like, if I wasn't in this industry, I would not be on social media. But
kudos to you for that.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I just had to like I sat down in front of the computer and probably watched damn near 24 hours worth of tutorials on how to work, how to edit, how to work the social media, like how it differs on like TikTok versus Instagram and YouTube and like all that stuff. And it's a lot that goes into it, but I mean, I think it pays off. So
what's most frustrating about it is it's always changing. And like once you start to figure it out, then they switch it up on you, and it's like which is good because it doesn't let you get too comfortable. Yeah. But then at the same time, it's like, well, fuck, I have to figure out this new way the algorithm's working, and now I have to change my posting schedule. And even for us, it's like trying to figure that out and learn it. And it's not like, okay, the learning curve, things are leveling off and I'm figuring it out. It's like once I start to figure it out, then it completely changed. And now you have to relearn all of it.
So I mean,
it's good. It keeps you on your toes.
It does keep you on your toes. It gets a little bit annoying, but I mean, it
also forces you, I think, to pay attention to what other acts are doing around you. And, I find personally that I get lost in the shuffle of like figuring out whether I'm chasing a fad or I'm chasing a tactic. And a lot of artists start to use the same tactics, and then now this fad is created. So it looks like everyone that's jumping on the bandwagon is chasing the fad when, hey, I'm just trying to stay relevant and learn this tactic to get my stuff at that level. So it's like it's weird catch-22 because it's like, okay, I don't want to feel like I'm selling out and doing something because someone else is doing it. But if it's working for everybody, it's like, well, why not try it? So.
Yeah, and that's honestly why you see like it's funny because you can watch it's like TikTok trends, right? It's like one artist. I mean, so there was like all the transition videos and stuff that are like now everybody is doing, especially like 3 months ago, like that Benson Boone style that he like it was a thing probably like 2 years ago. I remember it, and I did a couple of them, and then I remember Benson Boone like brought it back, and he was in like every single video, and next thing you know, like every artist and throughout all the genres are all doing these transition videos and jumping on the camera and stuff like that. And I started getting into that a little bit, and I mean, it was fun to make those videos. But
so we're gonna see you in a blue jumpsuit anytime soon?
I don't know about that. I don't know if I have the confidence to rock a blue jumpsuit, but I mean, kudos to him for
he's killing it.
Yeah, but
it's fun to watch.
It's Benson Boone. Honestly, like on that topic, I like his stuff. I like his stuff, and I don't really get why he gets like hated on so much. Like I can see it, like I get he's like doing stuff that's outside the box, but I mean at the end of the day, like he's a creative, like he's
a creative genius.
I mean like he's the way that he's been able to like flip even like all these people that are like hating on him and stuff, and like he literally made a music video for his album that's literally just making a joke out of all their hate comments and stuff like that. And I like stuff like that. I'm just like, you got to give him props. Like,
it's genius.
Funny. It's genious. Like, and
it's obviously working because that's the only reason people hate on anything is because someone's doing something they're not or they can't.
People
jealousy.
People can only drag you down if they're below you. That's what I always say. So it's like, like hate on him all you want. I mean, the dude's got what, like 55 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
And
like,
he's changing the game, and he's pushing the envelope, which I love. And I don't really care what angle people push it from, as long as it's being pushed.
And he's an entertainer. I mean, aside from the fact that he can just sing his ass off, he's an incredible entertainer.
One of these days, one of these backflips, he's gonna hyperextend and snap his leg if he's not careful.
Yeah,
I saw one the other night. I was like, oh shit, that was close.
Yeah, but it's cool to see a guy who's like, I don't know, he leaves it all out there like when he's up on stage, and I feel like that's what the fans really want, is just like give the same energy. And that's why like you go to his shows and people are so amped up the entire time, because he's doing flips. Like, who else is doing backflips on stage right now? Like,
I mean, both my kids love his music, and that's what really caused me to like dive deep into it, because it's like, I was this mystical, magical guy I'm hearing my son sing about, and then I got into it. I was like, holy shit, this guy's insane. Super talented. So it's very cool. So what's your label and publishing situation like? Is that kind of your goal, was coming to town, was to get that done immediately, or did you want to sit back and
so my goal like coming to town was kind of just to find the right team. Like I tried to stay patient and just kind of let the pieces fall into place as they came, and I feel like we've done that so far, and I've put a really good team around me, and I'm grateful for all of them.
Do you have like a core group of writers that you work with mostly, or you just whoever, whenever you can get them in? Or
I it's a mix. Like I have my kind of my favorites who I mess with a lot, and that we click. So I write with them a good amount. Like I love guys like Gabe Faust and Russell Sutton and some other really good dudes. But I kind of just, it was funny, like when I first moved to town, it was literally just like speed dating for months on end, bro. It was like brand new people I'd never met like every single day, and I was like, damn, this is kind of crazy. But I mean, in that process you meet these like amazing writers and such talented people, and just the biggest thing is just I gained so much knowledge from meeting new people, and like taking things from their style of writing, and I'm like, that helps me improve on my writing. You know, it's the collaborative part of this town is so beautiful, and it's something I feel like you don't really get anywhere else.
Well, it's writing is kind of like a sport. Like you practice to get better, and then the better the people you're practicing with, the better you're gonna get. So like writing a ton and writing with a lot of different people, that's how you get good at it.
Yeah, dude.
When you're just hearing how people like refer to songwriting, like, different camps like refer to like phrases as furniture in a room, and like the song is the room, and you need just different pieces of furniture to fill out and dress up the room the way it needs to be. And there's some guys that can take, I mean, Trent Tomlinson, for example, I always go back to him. Like, he can take the most generic phrase and turn it into the most beautiful, unique thing, just by switching around a couple words, and then the delivery and the phrasing, and getting in rooms with those type of people. It's like, all right, anybody can throw out an idea, but like true like wordsmiths and lyricists that are gifted with crafting a song like that, that's I mean, and you can't teach that. It's like you have to be in a room with it, and you have to watch it happening to understand it, to appreciate it, because it really is a work of art. I mean, the way some of these guys, like, and Trent's a very intense person, Tyler Reeves, like, it's like they have their ideas, and like they'll disappear for 5-10 minutes, and then they'll come back in the room, and you're like, you get excited when they come back, because you know that they're something brilliant's about to fall out of their mouth. It's like, those are the moments you get excited about. And like, and Tyler even said it on here one day. He's like, you have that moment, and it's like everybody smiles and laughs. It's like, that's it, we got it. Like, you can't tell that to a non-songwriter and expect them to understand that, but you tell it to another songwriter, they're like, yep, we all agree. And it's like, you've been in this town for as long as you've been here. It's like everybody's experienced the same music business, but everybody's experienced it in a different way. And it's so cool to sit in a room with another writer that's maybe has the same accolades, the same hits, the same award nominations and wins and stuff, and you can sit there for 4 hours and compare stories about the same exact thing, and like never say the same thing, just because we all approach things from such a different place. And I think that's what I personally love. It's a long way of getting around to, like, the point I'm trying to make is the songwriting process, I think, is one of the most beautiful things out there in all of the creative process, whether that's acting, writing, singing, anything. Like, I just think there's so much that goes into it and so much that can be learned from it that people just don't appreciate. And unless you are a songwriter, it's like you don't get it. But those moments that you have when it's that aha moment and everybody comes together and is excited about it, it's like you can't recreate that. You can't fake it.
Yeah, dude.
It is what it is, and it's one of the coolest feelings out there.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts about it is when you have those moments and you're just like I've been in one of my favorite writers in town, Rivers Rutherford. Yeah, like he's such a genius, and like every time I write with him, I get so excited. Like the night before in the morning, I'm just like, dude, like, because he's such a genius, and there's so many guys like that in town where they're just like, they like completely understand music, you know, and they understand it through and through, like on the technical side of things, but also like in the emotional side of things, you know, like they have like a connection to it. And like when I get in rooms with people like that, I'm just like, I literally just try to take it in. Like I put my best foot forward, and just like try to like pitch in, and like I try to help the song along, you know, and write to the best of my ability. But like honestly, when I get in rooms with people like that, I just like I just like try to take it in as much as I can and just like absorb their skills, you know. It's
I'll find myself apologizing in rights like that, like, hey, sorry I'm not contributing more, I'm just literally like, I feel like I'm hanging on every word that comes out of your mouth. And it's like, because I'm wondering, okay, is this guy judging me as like this shitty new writer that's in town, it hasn't contributed anything? And I'm like, well, there's like pure genius coming out of your mouth. Like I feel like whatever I say is going to just water that down and like make it less good. And
also,
then,
you don't want to interrupt the
flow
pattern,
and the genius that's happening.
That's one thing I've learned is like when an art, like when a writer is flowing, like just let them flow.
Yeah, get out of the way.
Yeah, dude. Like, 'cause there's some times like that where like if somebody's on that day and you like kind of throw a wrench in whatever they're doing, like it'll put them off track, you know. And like I've been in rooms and like had those days where like I'm the person where I'm like, yeah, dude, like I'm on right now, like I'm flowing, like I know how this is like gonna go. And it's when you get in that state, it's really exciting, because like it's like my favorite thing. But
I'm sure you can speak to this also, like you'll be in a room with somebody and you are on that day, and let's say your third co-writer is on, and then there's this other guy that's usually a great writer that like feels left out almost. And it's like keeps throwing the same line out over and over again, and everyone's like, dude, it's not gonna work. Like, let's move past it. And then you know, I appreciate the writers that throw it out a couple times and they're like, all right, point taken, I'm not gonna try this one again. There's some people that are just clueless and just, no, I have to get this line in the song, that's my contribution. They don't realize that might have been the line that killed the song.
It's funny. It's like sitting down with people and trying to put together a puzzle. It's a
with no
thing.
Picture.
Like, exactly.
Nobody knows what it's supposed to look like.
You sit down with literally a blank canvas in front of you, and you're like, all right, let's make something out of thin air. So it's funny to wrap your head around, like that's like the industry is literally built on that. Just like people sitting together and just like making something out of nothing. It's awesome.
What's your favorite part of the business?
It's the writing process.
Yeah,
like I mean, like I love being on the road, and I think the writing process is my favorite part. But I would say my second is being on the road, and just because like going out there and meeting people that you've never met before, like going to a town in the middle of nowhere that you've never been before, right? And meeting people that like know you and have this connection to your music, and like it's one of the most special things that like I've ever experienced. Like I was out on the road. I was in Georgia this past weekend, and 2 weekends ago, and North Carolina, and I mean I was going out there and just like looking out in the crowd, and people were screaming the words to my music, right? And that was kind of the first time, because I took a break for a couple months and I was just writing. I wasn't really going out on the road. So and this was like kind of the first experience I had on the road after my album dropped, and just seeing people like screaming the words, like all the music from the album, I'm like, damn, like this is awesome.
That's got to be the coolest feeling in the world.
It's the coolest feeling, because like you see, you can like look into their eyes and see like how they connect to the music, and it's just nuts. So that's got to be another one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
About
You
this
think as
industry.
you grow older, being such a young guy, the road probably does seem like a ton of fun right now.
Yeah.
Me and somebody in their 40s, to me, I'm like, ain't no way. Like,
Yeah.
I want no part of that. Like,
It's a lot. It's rough, but it can be rough at some times, but it could also be a blast. So
yeah.
I'm just kind of trying to have as much fun with it as I can.
Yeah.
Not take things too seriously, like, cause I have a tendency to like overthink some things and kind of just like be all like business and, but I've been trying to just like kind of enjoy it more than I have in the past, you know. So
that's awesome. And for me personally, like, you'll get burnt out on the road, but then you're off the road for a little bit, and that's the only thing you want to go do.
Yeah.
Like, I remember during COVID, especially, like, that first show back, I remember we played this Wallapalu campground. It's like this famous place. A bunch of people go out and play in like Missouri somewhere.
Yeah.
And like everybody been cooped up, and like that was the most excited I had ever been to play a show. And I feel like, you know, even if you take a couple weeks off, it's like you're just itching to get back out there. And I think it's mainly for that, I don't know, that energy that you get back from the crowd. Like, you could have the shittiest week. You could, you know, be just bogged down on the business side of things, and then you get out there, first song in, you see people reacting, and then people sing every word of one of your songs back to you, and you're like, holy shit, I've never felt anything like this except for this.
Yeah. Dopamine release is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And there's nothing that like you can fake that's really going to produce that same type of dopamine release.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's again, it's one of the few businesses like where your biggest dreams are literally a song, a show, a gig away. Like, I mean, my wife always asks me, she's like, do you want to quit? Do you want to do something different? I was like, why would I? Like, I can do all this other stuff at the same time, but like, there's literally people all over the world that this is their dream and I get to live it. So I'm going to take advantage of it and not take it for granted as much as I possibly can. And, you know, it gets tough once you have kids because you don't want to leave your kids or miss a football game or a basketball game. But at the same time, like, my time to be able to do this is limited. And like, one of my best friends is a pro athlete, and he's like, you know, I've been fortunate enough to have a very long career. He's like, most guys in my level, 5-6 years max. He's like, so to look at you and see that you get to do it for 20 plus years, like, it's pretty incredible. So I definitely feel incredibly grateful and wouldn't want to do anything different. So it's fun for me to watch somebody your age get into it and already have the experience, like I said, but then I'm excited for you just for everything that I know is coming your way, just because you're awesome, you're talented, and it's exciting to watch. So pumped for you.
Thank you.
What's your I've heard this asked a lot lately. I might have even seen one of yours, like your Mount Rushmore of music. I don't want to ask like exactly what that is, but who are some of your biggest influences and heroes in the business?
I would say, so Eric Church is, I grew up on his music. It was like pretty much the majority of the music that was played around our house was Eric Church. So I would put him on my Mount Rushmore for sure. But
it's a good one.
I love Toby Keith. I'm a big fan of him. I play Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue pretty much every show I play.
That's
like,
awesome.
I love
Toby was a great guy too, man. We actually he spent a lot of time around here when he was in town, and we had him in here. I don't know, probably 3 or 4 months before he passed away. He was in town, and he's walking around with a little glass of wine, and you know, like just getting to be a fly on the wall. You know, I sat back there, and I think I've told the story on the podcast before, but he told the story about how he wrote Should Have Been a Cowboy, but like just being able to be a fly on the wall and get to hear some of those stories like straight from his mouth, and like, man, he's like as a much of a good old boy as a good old boy could be. Like, Toby was the real deal, you know. And that's awesome. I love that, you know, he obviously was probably, you know, his career doesn't really overlap your life, you know, like where you were, you know, listening to his music while it was on the radio, you know what I mean? So it's pretty cool. It seems like you got a little bit of an old soul in you, which is, I think is a really good thing in this town.
Well, even I remember coming here, like, I was talking to somebody that was in here the other night, and they're like, yeah, so Riley behind the bar, Chris Young was back there. And like, when I first started coming in here, it was George Strait you'd see in here, and every time my wife bartended here for years, and Toby Keith was behind the bar every weekend he was in town. So to get to see that, but then talk to people that are your age from the next generation, it's like, okay, it's seeing Morgan Wallen back there or some of those other guys, like that's I don't know, it's just kind of cool, the separation, but then it's still the same thing
Yeah.
as when I got to town.
Yeah,
So
dude. It's crazy. Like, especially during CMA Fest, it was cool because I played the losers event.
Yeah.
And it was awesome because after my set, like, you'll just see Riley walk into the VIP, and then and then Megan walks into the VIP, and then like all these artists are, next thing you know, like all these artists are just walking by.
Yeah.
And just,
Which
like,
night did you play?
I played on Tuesday.
Tuesday,
yeah. So
yeah, because we were down here shooting on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
So like we would shoot, and then I'd come out there and watch it. So I came out and heard your set the second night we were out here.
Yeah,
so it was pretty cool.
It's funny. It's the thing that I think separates Nashville from like other like musical cities. I mean, for like Hollywood or LA, for example, right? It's like, I feel like you don't get that in Hollywood where artists are just walking around like normal people.
Yeah, you
like,
definitely know.
You'll just see. I mean, like, you'll just see Gavin Adcock walking down the side of the street, right? And like with some of his buddies, and it's just like nobody's bothering them.
Yeah.
Nobody's like coming up, and like you don't get paparazzi going and taking photos of them. Like, people just let them be, which I think is so awesome about this town.
Well, if they didn't let Gavin Adcock be, it might not be a great experience for him. He's a wild card, man. I've been around him a few times. He's a good time, and there's no mystery why he does well on social media. He definitely he's got the shock value.
Yeah, I'm curious also. Like, I don't think I've asked anybody your age this question, but like, I feel like country, the format as a whole, like other artists, there's more camaraderie, and I feel like country artists root for one another, whereas hip hop, rock, pop especially, it's like they hate each other. Like, I remember like and we would go on like these guitar pools and stuff, you know, radio events, and there'd be 10 artists on stage at one point, and then I remember we played one and it was a pop artist that was trying to put out a crossover song before it was really a thing. And on stage, they were like, man, this is so cool. Like, our format doesn't get to experience this. Like, we all hate each other, and everybody's rooting for the other act to fail. Mm-hmm. He's like, you guys actually all seem like friends up here. Yeah. And back then, I definitely felt that. And I'm curious, is it the same now? Like, is it cliquey in the circles of kids coming up? Or is it...
I think all the artists I've met, like, that are around my age and that I'm coming up with, like, they're all so nice and so like all my buddies, like I hang out with like guys like Caden Wallace and I got these other two buddies, Hunt Pipkin and Parker Gentry, and we all hang out in a group, and we're all artists, right? And we're all in country music, but like we're just boys, and we want to see the other guys succeed. Like we'll just like sit around and like play demos for one another and be like just get excited for one another when we hear like great music coming out of us, because it's like it's awesome to see like your buddies that you just hang out with normally, like maybe they'll have a post go viral on social media or like something like that, and you just get amped up for one another. It's like it's almost feels like it's just like it's like a sport, right?
Like a team.
You're all on the same team, and we're just like trying to get better, because like, I mean, if the water rises, all the ships are gonna rise, you know. So I guess I'm just really grateful that I'm finding other artists that are around my age in this town, and we're all coming up together. You know, it's great.
I'm a big believer in win together, man. I played all team sports my whole life, and so like for one, it's easier if you got a great team around you and a great team of people you're working with. But man, when you do make it, it's so much more gratifying doing it with those people, man. Like, it's like, dude, these are the guys that I bled with and I worked with, and we're up till 3 a.m. writing these songs or whatnot. You know, like, they made the sacrifices with me. So like winning with them is far more greater than, you know, winning with somebody who just maybe, you know, he just came in and gave you a song.
Exactly. And I mean, look at guys like Morgan, Hardy, and Ernest.
Oh, they're the perfect example.
Like, dude, like they were just homies, and they all came up together. You know, they were like that's honestly my dream, is to be able to go out on the road and just like tour with my boys. Like, there's in my eyes, there's like nothing better. Like,
well, you know, the sacrifices those guys made for the greater good in their careers, because, you know, I'm sure there's Hardy and Ernest would have liked to have kept some of them songs for themselves. I mean, them songs are huge, But they knew, like...
But we also wouldn't know who Ernest and Hardy were if it weren't for Morgan.
For Morgan, exactly.
So, I mean, granted, they've both written other massive songs that are incredible in their own right. But, like, if it wasn't for that project doing what it did, I mean...
Well, and they like to get paid.
Yeah, so. They're smart. They know what they're doing.
It was a good move. But, you know, like I said, you know, those songs are like your babies. Yeah. And so, like, giving up one of your favorite babies to someone else because you know it's going to be better for your career and better for everyone's career as a whole for them to do it instead of you. That's huge, man.
And then also something you learn as an artist. Like, we had songs at the beginning of our career that we thought, okay, we have to cut this. We have to release this as a single. Then you realize you don't actually get to choose all the songs you cut. You don't get to choose what comes out. I mean, in our case, it was Jim Catino picking the single. So, like... Granted, we're very grateful that he switched it and picked the right one, but at the same time, we were going into that radio tour not too happy because that wasn't the single.
Yeah.
And, like, we knew, and these radio guys were telling us, like, well, if you gave us this one, we'd play it right now. And it's like, we're screaming, like, hey, guys, listen, they'll play our song if we switch it. And thankfully he did that. But, you know, it doesn't always happen that way. And you can only release so many songs as an artist. So... You know, you get someone else out there playing a number one song. That gives you another song you can play in your set every night that's a hit that people know. Another example of, you know, that moment where everybody's singing your song back to you. Yeah, and you might not have even been the one that cut it.
But, Old Dominion's really good at that.
Yeah.
Like, those guys are some of the best writers in town. And, you know, they have a really cool part of their show where they pull chairs up and grab their acoustics. And then they go through and play all the songs that they wrote for other people. And you're like... I remember the first time I witnessed that, I was like, holy crap, they wrote all these songs? Like, that's
And just incredible. To a fan of music, they might not even understand, like, the clout that gives you an as an artist. Because now it's like, oh, wait a second, are they covering those songs? They wrote it? Like, a lot of fans don't understand that whole thing.
That was the funny part about that night. It was at Ascend, and there was, like, some Vandy, your typical douchey Vandy frat boys in front of us. And I hear one of them say, dude, we didn't come here to listen to fucking covers. What are these guys doing? And I was like, bro, they wrote all these songs. Yeah. Like, the artist actually is covering their song.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, oh, they wrote all this? And I'm like, yeah, dude. Like,
yeah, and that's why for us as artists, it's something that's so commonplace in this town especially. But most people around the world and around the country don't realize that.
Yeah. And I think the thing that's beautiful about, like streaming platforms and stuff like that is now that you can actually see who wrote the song, who produced it, and all that stuff. And I think it's definitely brought more light to the songwriters and, like, everybody who's behind the scenes working to make that song what it is, right? So I feel like there's definitely nowadays people are paying more attention to that, and I think it's awesome because, like, songwriters are getting the credit that they always deserve. Right?
I was explaining it to my son the other night. Him and his friends were out by our pool, had the iPad up, and they were singing along to a Morgan Wallen song. It got to the end, and there's like 14 writers on one song. Yeah. And, like, all these kids are like, oh, it took 14 people to write that? Like, it's crazy. I could have done that. Like, they don't understand what goes into it. But then I was telling him, I was like, well, what you don't realize is Riley had his song go number one last week that he wrote by himself.
Yeah.
And I was like,
which is like the
take all the money from that and divide that by 14, and then now look at how hard it is to do what he did and have a solo number one like that.
I think it's like the second one in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
It was our artist solo wrote that went number one. That's freaking crazy.
It's it's definitely, I feel like there's less and less people that are writing by themselves, which I mean is great. Like, the collaborative thing is awesome, and I mean it brings, like, I think it's the beautiful thing about collaborating with other writers and stuff like that is that you can bring so many different tastes because your co-writer has had a completely different life apart from you, right? And so many different other experiences. Their music taste could be nothing like yours.
Yep.
But the fact that you're able to sit down and, like, merge all of your ideas and all your experiences and all your different tastes and stuff like that into one song, I think is awesome. But there is something to be said about solo writing because, I mean, me personally, like, I try to at least once a week just sit down by myself and write a song.
Yeah.
Just me, like, from the heart, just whatever I'm feeling, I'm like, all right, this is my, like, diary. Yeah. I'm just going to, whatever I'm feeling right now, I'm just going to put it out and make something out of it. And, I mean, some of my, I don't know if they're hits, but, like, some of my personal favorite songs I've ever written have just been from that because, like, it's hard to beat that just one-on-one.
Well, I'm sure you connect with those songs like a little more at least. I mean, because they literally are you.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah, I know for me, 100% songs I'm way more attached to, because a lot of times in a co-write, like, all right, this particular song, I had a big part in writing the first verse and the bridge, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, like, I personally identify with those parts of the song. Yeah. But then if it's something you've written the entire thing, it's like you said, it's your baby. That's all you. Yeah. And it's also kind of a vulnerable place to be, because you're kind of naked as the writer. Mm-hmm. It's like there's no hit writer on the thing with you that you could blame or give them credit for something. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly is all on you. And I think I think as artists, most of us are fairly insecure in the sense that we just want people to like what we're putting out. And there's the few that say they don't, I think, are full of shit. But maybe there are a couple anomalies. But, you know, it's like, I want people to like my music. I want people to relate to what it is that I'm putting out and singing about. And when someone doesn't and it doesn't resonate, it's kind of a hit to your ego. But I think writing those 100%ers by yourself, like, it forces you to hone your craft and work on all aspects of it, as opposed to, all right, I'm the guy that comes in for the bridge and that's just my thing, and I come up with different melodies and that's it. Like, that's cool to be like a niche guy that just brought in for that kind of thing. Usually for me, it's chorus melodies. Like, I'm good at that. But you know, I'd like to be more well-rounded as far as my lyrical content goes and be able to write some of the deeper stuff and put it out in a way that, you know, people are like, man, that's good. Yeah. And maybe people already think that, and I'm just too in my own head. Like, that's again, something I love about songwriting. It's like a constant challenge, and you're constantly growing, whether you know it or not.
Yeah, dude. It's it's. I think sometimes in this industry, like, I mean, me personally, like, I'll get in my own way, like, so much, and like I'll be sitting down in a room, and I'll come up with a line and kind of bite my tongue for a second, and I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna like that or if that's even a good line. And then, like, but sometimes they'll throw it out there, and they'll be like, holy crap, like, that's exactly what this song needed, right? So it was funny. I was in a writer's room on Friday, and one of my co-writers was like, all right, this might be a really cheesy title, and he's like, so this might be absolutely horrible, but I'm just gonna say it, because, like, we were throwing stuff out and nothing was sticking. So he's like, all right, this is, like, probably my cheesiest title, but he threw it out there, and I was like, wait, that's actually, like, really good. And I was like, if we spin it the right way, like, it can be perfect. So we wrote it, and it turned out to be a great song, but you don't know, like, unless sometimes you just got to get out of your own way and kind of just let stuff
put
fly,
it out there.
Usually the older I get, it's like, trust your gut. Like, if your gut's telling you to say it, just say it, and don't, because I'll always second guess everything. I'll talk myself out of anything, but if I usually just trust my gut and go with what I wanted to do first, it's usually right. And if it's not, at least, like you said, it'll spark an idea with somebody else, or they can take my cheesy idea and reshape it just enough to make it perfect for the song. And I don't know, it's hard to get out of your own way.
Yeah, it is.
But when you finally realize how to do it, it opens up a lot of possibilities, I think.
Yeah, bro.
What do you like to do other than music? I mean, I know your life is pretty much fully encompassed with music right now, but I mean, you got to have something to get away from time to time. You hunt, play sports, or
I hunt. I've grown up hunting since I was very little. There's a photo of me when I was in, like, kindergarten getting my first gun one day after school. So that's been a big part of my childhood. But also, I love to golf.
Nice.
I picked up golfing, I think, like, a few months before I moved here, and because a lot of my buddies back home were, like, on the golf team and stuff like that. So I was kind of turned off of it. I was like, nah, dude, if I go out with y'all, I'm gonna suck. It's gonna be horrible.
They're really
I'm
good.
not gonna enjoy it. Yeah, you guys are gonna be beating me. And then so one day I was just like, fine, I'll go. So I went, and I just loved it. So
golf is like, man, it's addicting, bro. It's
so
such a cruel and wonderful sport all at the same time.
There's few things that are like golf, because I mean there's so many. I mean it's like all these problems that you're having to solve pretty much, and
there's
like,
so many factors.
Yeah, so many factors, and it can be the worst thing or it can be the best thing. But
there's nothing quite like just flushing a golf shot or stabbing one 6 inches from the pin or anything, or even more, bro, like draining like a 35-40 foot putt, because putting is so freaking hard.
It's so hard.
Like, that to me is like, bro, that's my Super Bowl at this point in my life.
For sure.
Like, that's awesome. What's your favorite? What do you like to hunt?
My favorite is boar.
Boar?
Wild boar.
They're fun. You ever done the helicopters?
Dude, I haven't. I want to.
Yeah, we had an Arkansas boy on a few weeks ago, and we talked about that with him. I was like, man, that looks like so much fun, shooting hogs from a helicopter.
That's like, it's on my bucket list, and it has been for a long time. I grew up on wild boar. I just like them because, I mean, it's more of a rush for me.
Because it's dangerous. I mean,
it's dangerous.
Yeah, those damn hogs are mean, bro.
They're mean, and like if you mess up, it could go wrong. But I like the thrill.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And there's like, they're fast.
I was going to say they're a lot more athletic than people. Like it's not like the pigs you eat for bacon, bro. These guys are a whole different situation.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
We were on our way to the ACM Awards one year. Mm-hmm. It was our first time we got nominated for Duo of the Year.
Yeah.
And the night before, back when I was drinking, the night before we had gone hog hunting on the banks of Cumberland, up past Hendersonville, up past 109, that bridge. There's a bunch of them up there back then. So I had a 18-inch Bowie knife, and literally we were stalking these things, getting up behind them and stabbing them in the shoulder, through the lung into
trying
the
to hit the heart,
getting them, So we were hammered out there until 4 in the morning. Our flight left at 6. So I threw this big knife I had stuck one, threw it into my backpack, wrapped it in a T-shirt. Get home hammered, wake up to go to the airport the next morning, grab that backpack instead of my backpack with my computer and stuff.
No.
Going through the security belt, I see it come up on the screen. I'm like, oh, fuck,
giant Bowie knife.
And this guy slowly starts pulling it out. There's blood and hair all over this thing. And I'm like, oh shit, this is not going to be good. Immediately called our publicist and was like, hey, something bad is happening. I don't think I'm going to make it to Vegas. But for whatever reason, this cop was awesome and was an avid hunter.
Yeah.
Or the TSA guy was an avid hunter, and then the cop that I got that arrested me was an avid hunter. And he had been up there with us that 2 nights before because we were doing the same thing. He's like, oh, I remember you. And totally worked the system, called his boss, and they held the plane for me, and I was able to get on and make it out there. But it gave us something to talk about in all the radio remotes. But it was wild.
Holy crap.
Yeah, my story
I was I'm going to jail. There's blood all over this thing.
We had a wedding in Laguna, and I'm a last minute packer.
Yeah.
And I have one backpack. I use it every day. And if I go hiking or I go whatever, it's always that backpack. Backpack's always got my gun, my knives, flashlights, anything I might need for it being in the woods. And I thought I cleared the bag. And I did partially clear the bag, but this was back during the face mask deal.
Yeah.
So I had one pouch on the side of my bag that was full of face masks, and for some reason I never put my gun in there. I stuck my gun in there, and I did not clear that. So I'm going through TSA, and the crazy part is I passed through the metal detectors, and then they pulled me on a random bag search. So this little old guy comes over. He's like, hey, sir, we're just going to be one more minute. We're going to do a random bag search. And I was like, oh, okay, no big deal. And this guy's going through my bag, and all of a sudden I hear, oh, God, man. And he's got my 9mm in his hand. And I was like, oh, shit. And then I looked at my wife, and I was like, hey, I'm going to go to jail. You need to go ahead and get on this plane because you're in the wedding.
Yeah.
And then, of course, she just starts crying. And I'm like, I look over at the TSA guy. My brain first was panic, and then I was like, I'm in Tennessee. I'm like, hey, man. I was like, how bad is this? He goes, oh, man, we get 5 or 6 of these a week here. This is Tennessee. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so I'm not going to go to jail. He's like, not unless you're up to some bad shit. And I was like, well, I'm definitely not. And so they took me off to the side, asked me a bunch of awkward questions because they're like, the cop, she's like, is it loaded? Yes, ma'am. Is there one in the chamber? Yes, ma'am. How do you work the safety? There's not one. And so the whole conversation, and then I tried to explain myself, and I'm like, yeah, I thought I cleared the bag. I removed the knives and everything else. And she was like, there were knives in the bag? And I was like, yes, it's my everyday bag. I use it in the woods. I take it hiking. There were knives in the bag too. I thought I got everything out. But they eventually were like, yeah, you have 2 options. You can either leave the gun with us, you will never get it back, or you can take the gun home, miss your flight, and book a new flight. So I was like, well, I'm gonna take my gun home. I'm not gonna leave you guys with my gun. So this is the craziest part of the story. So they take me to the top of luggage claim where the escalator goes down to luggage claim, and they're like, all right, man, have a good day. and hand me my gun. So I ride the escalator down through luggage claim with the pistol in my hand. I walk out through luggage claim to where the cabs and stuff are at with the gun in my hand because I started to stuff it. And I was like, well, somebody sees me stuffing it, then they're going to call and I'm going to be back with these cops again. Yeah. And then so I get going home and putting it away. And then they told me that I would get a fine from TSA. About 3 months later, I get a letter from TSA, $4,995 fine. So I was like, now I know why they let me go. Yeah. They knew they were about to send me a big old bill. Yeah. And so, yeah, $5,000. Damn. If anybody wants to know, no jail time in Nashville, but $5,000 to take your gun. Don't take your gun to the airport
through the metal detector at the airport.
Dude, yeah. I've never had something as bad as that, but I've had 2 knives and 1 wine opener confiscated by TSA. It's just like I always forget that it's in my bag, and it's like, I lost.
So, dude, what are you doing with a wine opener?
I don't know why I had a wine opener in my bag. Like, I legitimately do not have a single clue how it got there, but sure as shit, it was in there. And he was like, "Do you have anything sharp in your bag?" And I was like, "I don't think so."
I don't think so.
And then he opened it up, and he's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I mean, it's a wine opener." And he's like, I'm gonna have to take this. I was like, okay. Cool. And then I was like, all right. Yeah. And that was it.
I got luckily, I've never gotten a straight edge razor the other day. Like, I always have a checked bag, and it was a one-off show, so I just threw my toiletry bag in there and forgot there's a straight edge razor on there, and it's like, no, there's nothing sharp in there. I checked everything.
It's okay, 9/11.
Yeah, I guess I was gonna take out a plane with my straight edge razor. But I do have, like, whenever I go through, they ask the same question: is anything sharp that could hurt me? I was like, well, I'm type 1 diabetic. Yeah. I was like, well, there's a bunch of needles in there, and just the look on everyone's face whenever I say that, like, wait a second. And so then that prompts a list of other questions, but I always do it just to mess with them. Because one time somebody did get stuck with one of my needles and freaked out, and I had told him, I was like, listen, I told you guys there were needles in there. This woman's just rifling through my bag, pulling stuff out, and knocked the cap off of it, and then started bleeding. Yeah. And literally lost her shit, like screaming at me, like, you gotta give me AIDS. I was like, well, that would require me having AIDS.
It's like, man, I don't think I appreciate where this is going.
Yeah. Anyways, that was a useless story. Don't need to know that, but.
So, you got any tour dates coming down the way?
Yeah, I'm going out on the road with Gabby Barrett starting middle July, so that should be fun. Got a couple shows with her. And then I'm playing a festival in Northern California in Fortuna.
Nice.
I think that's next weekend, so that should be fun. And then got some gonna have some stuff coming up in fall that I can't really announce yet, but so I'm excited to get back on the road and start rolling again. So
I know you haven't been signed very long at Big Loud, but have you noticed that there's some good, like, label synergy there as far as putting artist packages together and stuff like that? Is that something you're hopeful or looking forward to? Or?
Yeah, it's I think the great thing about Big Loud is all the camaraderie between all the artists. Like, I feel like there's very few labels where all the labels are like just friends with one another, and like they're just so supportive of one another, and like
that's awesome.
That's why you see all of them like going on tour together.
Yeah, they got a real team and oriented environment over there.
Yeah, so I'm really stoked. Hopefully, I mean, I've been talking to a couple of the artists from there about going out on the road. So, we'll see what happens with all that next year. But I'm excited. I feel like I'm in the right spot.
You're definitely in a great spot, man.
Thank you.
Who's your bucket list person to go out and open for?
Shoot, that's a hard question. I mean, I would say Megan Maroney would be pretty sick. I think that would be a fun time, and my sister loves Megan Maroney, so that'd be fun for her.
I think you two would, they're her fans
complement each other very well.
You complement each other very well.
And I dropped a rewrite of Tennessee Orange a couple months ago.
Oh yeah.
And, I always play that, especially when I'm down south. It kills.
Have you talked to her about that at all?
We were in, so the way we were able to get it out is we had to send it to her team,
right?
Be like, hey, is this like okay if we put it out? Like, so we got their blessing.
It's cool.
And I've never met Megan in person, but I don't know. Hopefully soon I will.
Well, at least she was cool with her and the team were cool with you putting it out.
Yeah, and they could have very easily said no and just been like, no, screw you.
Yeah.
But, they were nice about it, and they let us put it out. So I'm grateful for them for letting us do that. But yeah, hopefully soon I'll meet her, and maybe some tour dates in the future. You never know.
Nice. Any type of collaborations with other artists? Or?
Oh, collabs.
Seems like it's such a huge thing right now. Like,
yeah, there's a lot.
Since
of
peak of our career,
collabs.
like that wasn't a thing. Like if that happened,
Yeah.
it was like a big deal. Now it seems more commonplace.
Yeah, there's a lot of collabs, which I think is really cool because it just shows you, like, especially in this town, how much like it's such a friendly atmosphere. Like people want to be working with other artists, right?
Absolutely,
yeah. I think it's awesome. So honestly, I think as far as like bigger artists, let's see. Honestly, outside the genre, one of my dream collabs, which Bailey Zimmerman actually has it on his new album, is Kid Laroi.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think he's really cool.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I love his stuff. So outside the genre would probably be him.
I love his song, what was it, Girls? You heard that
Oh,
one?
yeah. Girls Just Want to Dance. Yeah.
Such a good groove.
Yeah. That song's really good. Let's see, in the genre, it's a hard one. I would say, obviously Morgan would be really badass.
Yeah.
I think
he does.
I'd say
all his
based off of
collabs
your
are really
label
good.
situation, I'd say that's not as far off as you might
never know.
seem.
Maybe in the future it could happen.
Yeah.
But I would say towards my level, honestly, I would love to put out a collab with like just some of my boys.
Yeah.
You know,
That'd be dope.
like my buddy Caden. We were talking a little bit about doing a collab, so maybe that might happen in the future.
You need to get Big X to plug on one.
Dude, that would be sick. There's also a kid.
He crushes it though. Like that song with Bailey Zimmerman's a banger, dude. Like, I don't care what anybody says.
I like that song a lot. Too.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Some people threw shade on it. My dad wasn't.
Well, it's like
he
wasn't love it. It's not really his vibe of music.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Of course.
I mean, I love Big X, so I thought it was really dope. But have you heard his collab with Jesse Murph?
Yeah,
that one.
It's good too.
Dude, Holy Ground. That song's a banger. But
her voice is so unique too, man. Like, it's really cool.
But anything I've heard her come out with, though, it's like the melodies are genius. Like, I mean, her voice is cool, but like it's the placement of the phrases and the melodies combined with that kind of nasally thing she does that just it works. It's
so unique.
Yeah, there's like, nobody else that sounds like her.
Yeah, it's nice.
And then she's got that swagger and that just kind of attitude that that fits. Like,
it's it's the FU attitude.
Yeah, because somebody else like that could look identical, check all the boxes, but wouldn't have that same just kind of angst
got like
and
a
just
spunk.
it's cool.
Yeah, she's a firecracker for sure.
Yeah, it's the type like if I were to meet her, like I wouldn't know what to expect because she seems like one of those just like spitfire,
or like she's always
cannons.
on.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, going to that, like, you found that to be kind of tough sometimes, like to have to always be turned on. Like,
it was something that I had to learn because I mean, honestly, like my nature is kind of introverted, so like I
chill.
Guess, I chill, like I'm not like a big personality or anything like that, but it's definitely something like when I get on stage, it's something I like turn on, and like I have, like I mean, some people have. There's some artists that are like Jesse Murphy, where they're just always like on, and then there's some people like take Hardy, for example, where it's just like off stage he's just kind of just acts like a normal dude.
Pretty super chill dude.
And then he gets on stage and he's just like an animal.
Yeah.
And that's like, I think that's kind of more of what I do is I'm kind of just more laid back. And then, but when it's time to go, it's time to go.
I think that's cool for your fan base, and as a fan of country music. And we've talked about this before. Like, I grew up a huge fan of Elvis, Prince, Michael Jackson, and the Eagles, and like there was so much mystery surrounding them. And I think there's something to be said for that. Like, you have some artists that like what you see is what you get. They're amped up to 100 on stage and off stage. But I think the opposite of that is what intrigues me because it's like, all right, who is this guy off stage? I know what I'm seeing on stage, but then it causes a fan, I think, to dive into your social media, to go to your Wikipedia page and like learn more about you because you haven't put it all out there on every social media account and every other aspect of your career. So I think that mystery is cool, and I think that sheds a kind of a different light and allows you to be not have multiple personalities, but like be one person on stage and then maintain your privacy and stuff, off stage, which is cool. And I think if you don't I think a lot of people get burnt out really quickly because they share everything with everyone, and then everybody now thinks they have access into every aspect of your life. And there's something to be said for keeping your private life somewhat private. And people don't even like that anymore because they think, oh, you're an artist, I should have access to every aspect of your life. And I don't know, I think there's some acts that I gravitate towards more because they withhold stuff. And then I actually look forward to their record coming out because it's like, okay, now what am I going to learn about this guy through his music, because I thought I knew everything about him because of who he puts himself out there on social media as. But I don't know, it's a cool thing. I think it helps you rope in a whole different demographic. So kudos to you for taking that approach, because in this day and age, not many people do, because it's like vomit everything that they possibly can out there and let people sift through it. But I think if you're more purposeful in curating what you give them, it's probably better for you in the long run.
Yeah, it's definitely something. I mean, I like to sit down and kind of like just be chill and just be normal, like whenever I can. You know, it's a luxury. It's a luxury that like sometimes you don't have as an artist. You know, like where I mean, if you're on the road, it's like kind of hard to get away. But I mean, I value like anytime I get to spend with just my family or my dogs.
Bro, play a lot of golf when you're on the road. Anytime you get a chance, go out and play golf.
That's what I'm looking forward to, is like just going out there and like seeing different courses and stuff. I mean, there's so many beautiful courses like all over the country and all over the world that like I would love to play someday. So I'm looking forward to.
What's your handicap, or do you keep it? Or
okay, so I keep it on virtual. Like, so we're members at this place called Golf Sanctuary. Down in Brentwood. So we're members there, and I think my handicap is like a 10.2 right now.
Nice.
That's pretty solid.
So it's and then I didn't golf for like 3 weeks, and I tried to golf again the other day, and it was just didn't go well. But
it was also like 200 degrees out there.
Yeah, it was.
If that's the day you're talking about.
I mean, I damn near passed out from a heat stroke, but it was I had a couple good shots in there.
I was standing over a ball the other day, and there was just a stream of sweat just pouring off the bill of my hat as I was standing. I was like, this is kind of fucking distracting. Like, I ended up putting on like a basketball headband under my hat.
You got to. Yeah, it was miserable out there the other day.
It was very hot. I swear I would they would give me a bottle of water at like the stations or whatever, and I would drink like half of it, and then it would already be like so hot. It would be like 80 degrees.
It's like Josh does a really good job with those tournaments, but lately it's been so hot that he doesn't get enough water. So he has Howdy THC and Delta seltzers out there, which are THC like low milligram, like low dosage drinks, but there was plenty of those at every cooler, and they were all freezing cold. So like I'm chugging these things, thinking, 5 milligrams, it's gonna take a while. And like on the front 9, I drank like 10 of them. So like by the end of the day, I've got like 250 milligrams of THC in my system, just as loose and relaxed as I can possibly be.
Like, yeah, man, I'm gonna hit this next shot, bro.
And my team was not golfers. Like usually it pairs me with somebody that's good. Like we have a shot at winning. Like I think the winning score that day was 23 under. And like we played my ball pretty much the whole day, and we were only like 7 or 8 under. But.
Yeah, I think we finished like 7 under. So
and there was a couple groups out there that were really, really good. Like literally birdied and eagled every possible hole you can.
Who's the biggest country star you got to meet so far, just like meet wise?
Oh, let's see. I would say probably Parker. I would say I think he's the biggest that I've met so far. But it's funny. He actually he went to school with my brother-in-law.
Really?
So so I met him at the WME after party during CMA week, and he was a nice dude. So we were talking about my brother-in-law a little bit, and he's a nice dude. But
that's cool.
Yeah, he's probably
big fan of his music too.
Who's your favorite artist of all time?
Favorite artist of all time? I gotta say Eric Church.
Yeah, Eric Church.
Right. Just because, like, I mean, I love his music, but I think the biggest thing for me is just his like attitude and how he went about his career.
Yeah, he's done it on his terms the whole time.
He did it on his terms. He did it his way, and he didn't chase a fad to stay relevant. He evolved his style, but with always staying true to who he was.
Yeah.
He evolved it in a way that was cool and like what was authentically him, you know?
I don't think he really cared too much about what people think about him either.
No.
And even further, like labels and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's, you know, he's doing it his way. Like, he don't give a shit.
I remember, not to keep bringing up our band, but like we were on tour with Jason Aldean and Eric Church for a year and a half at the beginning of our, probably 3 years into our career after we'd had our first hit.
Yeah.
And he did not give a fuck about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I had heard stories about it, like, because we were on the same label as Rascal Flatts when we first signed, and they tried to keep us separate. And one thing I constantly heard, they were like, 2 artists that you should not emulate their career, Trent and Eric Church. And I was always like, why? And they said, well, these 2 artists, they don't listen. They don't. Doesn't matter what anyone tells them, they do their own thing.
Yeah.
And I remember back then thinking that's a bad thing, and like, oh, you got to be this, you know, easygoing, like just whatever they say goes kind of thing. Yeah. But I think the reason he is who he is because he never gave a fuck and he never listened. And if someone told him to do something different than he wanted to do, he was basically, fuck off. Like, I'm going to do my thing. Yeah. I remember hearing Gary from Rascal Flatts when they were kicking Eric off the church being like, that's just it's disrespectful. You can't just come on and tour and then go 45 minutes over every night. Sorry. And then, I mean, I kicked him off the tour, and he's like, that's one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Yeah, because now
it proved to himself that he just, his own thing and his own plan works, and they were they were pissed that he was stealing the spotlight. Yeah. I mean, it's really what it came down to, but... Yeah. And Trent, same thing. He always did it on his terms. Like, didn't kiss people's asses that he didn't want to. I mean... Yeah. Just another example of somebody that's still relevant, still doing it, still playing shows. I mean, obviously not at Eric Church's level, but...
Yeah, but how many number ones does he have?
Yeah,
you know, like,
so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, like we said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And,
yeah, dude.
And again, labels will tell you what they want you to hear to make you...
Easier for them.
You know, more compliant. And if you're more moldable and, you know, impressionable, you'll, you know, hang on there every word and do whatever it is. Like, because we were young, wide-eyed, bushy-tailed kids that, like, all I wanted was a song on the radio. I didn't care how I had to get it there. I was willing to do anything. So you kind of take the, you know, what the label's saying is gospel, and it doesn't have to be. So it's like we think that they know what they're doing, but they don't really know any better than anyone else. It's like if you have success, they're responsible for it. But if you crash and burn and you fail, that's your fault.
And they'll drop it. Like, it's crazy. Like, but yeah, that's how it works sometimes.
Yep. But you seem like you have an amazing team around you, and really happy for you, and excited to watch your career and see where it takes you, because I think you got big things coming. So I'm excited to watch it.
We like to root for good guys, man. And I think you're definitely a good kid. You seem like you know, you got good people around you and your family. Keep them close, man, because they'll keep you grounded, and nobody will.
And don't fire your dad.
Will ground you like a sister.
I'm keeping them around. It's funny. They keep me in check. They let me know when my head's getting too big. So
my dad used to walk around me with a safety pin.
Yeah.
To pop the balloon anytime it got too big.
Yeah, that's my sister. She'll let me know.
Good people to have in your corner.
Yeah. Older sister, younger?
Older. Okay, I got 2 older sisters. Yeah,
so I got older sisters.
She's the middle one, and then my oldest sister, her name's Kaylee. She actually just had a baby a couple months ago, and she's pregnant again. So she's
congrats to her.
In Texas,
And congrats on being an uncle.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was funny when she was born. I was so scared to hold her. Really? Like, it was the first day she was born, and I was like, we walked into the hospital, and it was just like this tiny little human being, and I was like, no, thank you. And then,
too much that can go wrong here.
Yeah, and then finally I just sat there like this holding her, and I was so scared. But now she's getting bigger, and she can crawl and stuff. She's starting to stand and like all that. So it's
cool to see those milestones.
Cool.
It's really cool.
And you'll always be the cool uncle.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
It's fun stuff.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you coming on today, man.
Yes, sir.
It's been a pleasure, and we'll keep promoting you, and looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, Timmy McKeever, y'all. Be looking for him. A lot of music coming your way, and a lot of touring. Sounds like, so we'll be rooting for you, brother.